Beyond the noise, what's your truth? Are you staring or is it the current?
I could not get the front door open. It was sort of jammed in the lock. And at that time I just sort of crumpled and just fell to the floor and go, oh God damn, I'm gonna die.
We want to say that the way that you talk about getting goosebumps to give
Right.
as an indicator of a direction. The last couple of days, you really twisted my world around in a great way. Thank you.
Oh,
Because,
really?
yes,
I'd love to hear that. Fantastic.
they came in some areas that I have sort of put aside for a while to focus on growing my business. And so I
Okay.
was so happy to see that, oh, here's an indicator. I need to go do that because it's another part of creativity.
Yes, I found that every time I got the goosebumps, it was some meaningful thing on my path that I should take a notice of.
You're one of the few people that I've heard also say that you heard an audible voice give you direction.
Uh-huh.
Would you mind sharing a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I was when I first arrived in Los Angeles from Australia, I rented a house in a really bad area and it had bars on the windows of every house, and it was just a little one bedroom house and it had a sunken bedroom, and the very first night I bought a pizza and a bottle of wine and I had this huge candle about 15 inches high and I put it on the shelf, the wooden shelf of the house, and I listened to music and ended up going to bed. And the next morning, I woke up and I sat up in that sunken bedroom, and everything went black. And I looked up and I realized there was about a foot of air underneath the smoke, and the house was on fire. And as I crawled up to the front door underneath the smoke, I could not get the front door open. It was sort of jammed in the lock, and at that time I just sort of crumpled and just fell to the floor and go, oh God damn, I'm gonna die. There's a worse word than
Mm.
that, but I'm gonna die, right? And then this voice came, it didn't come through my eardrums, and it wasn't me thinking it, but this really calm voice just said, you haven't done enough with your life yet, Brian. And I just went, God damn, you're right. And I stood up and I started punching all the windows out and going down again for more breath. And I worked my way down to the sunken bedroom, which had about three or 4 feet of air in it. And I was, I had my head up against the bar, through the broken glass window. I had my head up against the bars and I'm screaming out, help, help. And some tradesmen came up from the house a couple of down, and he had a crowbar and he got me out the window just as the whole house exploded. So, and that was not the first time I'd had this feeling of control from outside, right?
Mhm.
And I've read a lot about it because it is 40 years since that happened. And I've read a lot of philosophy and a lot of spirituality. I've really come to believe that there's a presence in us that is God, and it has a mission for what it wants us to do in this lifetime. And so when we do something that's in alignment with that path, it sends a message to us, and instead of coming through my brain or through my eardrums, it comes through this electrochemical system we call a body, right? And it comes in the form of goosebumps. And so that's why I challenge everybody, next time you get the goosebumps, just stop and think, what did I just see, or what did I just overhear, or what did I just think? What there'll be something, I promise you, there'll be something that's instrumental in moving you further along in your life, maybe past a big problem that you have.